The short film I've analysed is called Run by Will Human or something. That was going to be the video. In camera, there are many different shots which are used to help show the motivation story of the short film. For example, there's loads of close-ups of like the muscles and their running shoes and their props and that they use. Also, it sets the scene because it tells the audience straight away that they're on a running track. Long shots are used to show the possibilities that running has because it shows the complete athlete and more sports which involve running. It might have it's got like hurdles and that in the background. A mid shot is used to show the runner's facial expressions, which shows how much effort and pain a runner goes through. However, this then cuts to a shot of his body to represent to the audience the rewards he could get from it. There is slow motion shots of the muscles, which are important because it shows muscles is needed and built and are increased a lot more while doing this gives the audience a dream and an inspiration to what they can reach for. In editing, there are many different techniques which are used. First of all, cross-cutting is used. This has been done to alternate between different types of runners which all have different situations and needs. However, this still displays the same story about running. Next, eyeliner matches and direct address is used with the characters. This is really effective and engages the audience and motivates them a lot more because they're like looking straight at them. Slow motion shots have been used to add more drama to specific scenes, like for the runners when they're running, it's in like slow motion. This will engage them a lot more. And fast-paced editing is used to show how tough and challenging running can be, but it can improve. In sound, there are many different types of sounds which are used, such as diegetic, non-diegetic, ambient sound, and Foley. First of all, the diegetic uses a voiceover of like a deep voice man. It uses different motivational cliches which I suppose meant to inspire people. When he says you have to keep going, the audience sees a character struggling but uses direct address and carries on. Furthermore, the diegetic also says this is a physical sport which juxtaposes with what is being shown on the screen because a muscular figure is being shown who is able to compete with anything. The next aspect of sound which is used in non-diegetic, this uses inspirational music which is first of all very slow and downbeat, and as the athletes start to run and start to aim for their goals, the music turns more upbeat and faster. Furthermore, the short film also uses aspects of sound such as Foley and ambient sound, which means the sound effects like heavy breathing and footsteps on the running track or on the grass is used to add a lot more effect, and this represents how it's going to be a struggle, however hard work and determination are able to reach their goal. Next is making the scene. This includes the short film's props, costumes, body positioning, locations and the lighting. First of all, the props include basic running equipment like running shoes and the starting blocks. These are significant because they show to the audience that nothing major is needed, and it's just willpower and motivation to get you out running. Next, it's costumes. These have been used to make the whole film look very professional. For example, all characters are wearing running clothes such as shorts and shoes. These have been done to signify that anything can be done and nothing extra is needed. Furthermore, the masculine characters also are wearing any shirts and showing off his muscles, which shows where they can go in life, like what it can be like. And the characters' bodies are positioned in running positions, which I mean by this is they're either starting to run, actually running, or start to catch their breath, and motivated themselves to keep going. Lastly, the locations of the film is also significant because it jumps from area to area. First of all, they use realistic locations such as running tracks and local streets, which everyone can access. And then further on in this bit, as their progresses onto more exotic ones to signify you can run wherever it's possible. Vladimir Krop's theory was written 80 years ago about Russian stories and are relatable to nearly every short film. Even though it's old, some of Krop's characters can be applied to many modern film narratives. Props theory has 8 character types. These are the hero, the false hero, the princess, the father, the helper, the villain, the donor, and the spectre. This is related very well to my short film Run, which I've chosen, because the hero, which Rob mentioned, would be the characters which are running in the film, because they're meant to represent the audience and what they can achieve. And the princess is what they can achieve after running, because this doesn't always have to be a woman, it can be anything in life which someone may want. In this case, it's good fitness and an ideal body. However, the villain in the story is your broken body which tells you to stop. However, the father of the princess, who is there mentally tells them to keep going and overcome hurdles. Conventions of the genre. The genre which I've used throughout short film is sport. The typical conventions of the sport genre is it contains sport, a sporting event, a sporting athlete, a sporting narrative, constant state of emotion, relationship between characters, success and failure. Run has all of these specific conventions. First of all, obviously contains a sport, which is running. The sporting event which is used is running itself. What I mean by this is running is an event in itself, because everyone can do it, it's not specific to someone that might fail. Next is sporting athletes, which are used throughout the short film. The sporting narrative is how running can help ordinary people overcome their odds. Furthermore, this short film uses a constant state of emotion because it shows the ups and downs which runners have, however they have to overcome this. The characters all have a relationship because they all have something in common, which is running. Lastly, it shows the success of the standard, and the diegetic explains what failure would look like. The uses and gratifications. Uses and gratification theory suggests that the audience have moved past all perceptions of media and that people use it for their own purpose. The theory has 4 different ideas in which audience use the media. These make up the theory: information, personal identity, integration, and social interaction and entertainment. The audience who watch this type of short film will feel the relationship between themselves and run. First of all, it provides them with essential information such as what to do if they feel physically and mentally weak. It uses both social interaction and integration greatly. For example, it uses social integration because running can be a social experience which makes people talk to others which they never would have done before. Furthermore, the audience would like to also receive entertainment from watching this short film because they would feel a lot more motivated to go running and doing something like sport other than what they would have done before watching the video. The representational issues in this are, first, it was very male-dominant video which some audience members may feel that it's sexist and it discriminates against women a lot more compared to men. Another issue may be that it sexualizes the characters. For example, a lot of the male characters are not wearing any shirts, and the shots of the females ones have sexual features such as their legs. This is a good case of Mulvey's theory, however, it also sexualizes males. Lastly, it may cause issues such as eating disorders or anorexia, as some viewers may make themselves ill trying to be like the main characters in the film.
Very good.